The night they cast her out, she didn't cry. She didn't beg. She didn't ask why the moon marked everyone but her. She just walked into the dark forest. The one no wolf returned from. And let the shadows swallow her whole. They said she smelled too human. Too weak. Too ordinary. Too wrong. They said the forest would kill her. But the forest did not kill her. It crowned her. And when she came back, wrapped in ancient power older than the moon itself, every wolf who once turned their nose away bowed. Before we continue, like this video, subscribe, and comment below. Human or wolf, who deserves the throne? Your engagement pushes this story to more viewers, helping the channel grow and allowing us to bring you more cinematic episodes weekly. Now, let's step into the ancient forest. Wolves never feared anything in the world except two things: the ancient forest and what lived beneath its roots. For centuries, packs warned their pups. Do not enter the forest. Do not touch its soil. Do not listen when the trees whisper. And never, never, answer when they call your name. Because no wolf who entered came back. Except one. Arya Rowan had no wolf. No scent. No glow under the moon. Nothing but a heartbeat too human and dreams too wild. Her pack treated her like a mistake the moon forgot to correct. They mocked her. They shunned her. They punished her for being different. Until the day of the choosing ceremony. The day a young wolf's scent ignites. The day the moon reveals their inner beast. The day every wolf becomes who they were born to be. Every wolf except Arya. When she stepped into the moonlight, nothing happened. No glow. No shift. No awakening. Just silence. Then laughter. Then disgust. And then the decree. Human born. No wolf. No purpose. No place among us. They cast her out to die in the forest the same night. But fate does not end where the pack decides. Sometimes fate begins where the wolves stop looking. Because Arya was never meant to awaken the wolf within her. She was meant to awaken the forest. And the forest was hungry for a queen. The moon hung low, swollen and watchful, painting the clearing in pale silver. The pack gathered in a perfect crescent shape, elders in the front, warriors behind them, and the unmated wolves forming a trembling circle in the center. Arya stood among them, trying desperately not to shrink under the weight of their stares. Her heartbeat was too loud. Her breath too shallow. Her hope too foolish. Arya Rowan, Elder Sorin called, voice booming. Step into the moon. She stepped forward. Barefoot. Shaking. Fingers curled tight at her sides. Every scent in the clearing sharpened, pine sap, earth, fur, cold air. And the quiet curl of disgust from her packmates. Why is she even here? She won't shift. The moon won't acknowledge a human. She should have been cast out years ago. Arya swallowed. This was her last chance. Her only chance. If the moon didn't answer tonight. If no wolf rose inside her. She would lose her home forever. Elder Sorin lifted his staff. Let the moon judge. The silver light thickened, becoming a column of shimmering brilliance that reached down toward her like the breath of the goddess herself. Arya closed her eyes. She felt it. A cold touch on her cheeks. A whisper in her ears. A pull deep in her chest. Please, she begged silently. Please let me be something more. The ground hummed. The air trembled. And then. Nothing. The light did not move. The wolf in her blood did not stir. The pack did not wait. A ripple of whispering swept through the clearing. No scent. No glow. No wolf. She's just a human. She shouldn't be one of us. She's an embarrassment. Arya's eyes flew open. The moonlight dimmed around her. Her chest felt hollow. Empty. Dead. Elder Sorin stepped forward, his expression unreadable. The moon has spoken. Arya's legs almost buckled. No, she whispered. No, please. Let me try again. You had 18 years, Elder Sorin replied quietly. If your wolf has not answered by now, it never will. Her throat closed. Her packmates stared at her like she was a broken shard of something once useful. Beta Darian sneered. She smells human. We let her stay out of pity. I say no more pity. The Alpha, Kael Rowan, Arya's own cousin, looked down at her with tired disappointment. Arya, he said, you cannot remain with us. Her blood went cold. What? Elder Sorin lifted his staff. The law is clear. A wolf who bears no wolf is no wolf at all. The Alpha nodded. You are banished. Arya's breath shattered. No. Kael, please. You will leave by midnight, he said firmly. You will not return. A murmur of approval swept the pack. Someone spat at her feet. Someone else turned their back entirely. And then. The worst moment. Mate bond-eligible wolves stepped forward for their scent reading ritual. The first male approached her, sniffed once. And recoiled violently. Human, he spat. Revolting. Arya flinched like he'd hit her. The next wolf sniffed. No wolf inside her. No aura. She smells like prey, not pack. Laughter rippled through the gathering. Her eyes burned. She tried not to cry. They rejected her not just as a wolf, but as a living being. Finally, Elder Sorin pointed to the forest. Begone, child. The ancient woods will take you. Arya's stomach twisted with terror. No wolf survives that forest, she whispered. Beta Darian smirked. Then you'll fit right in. The pack turned away, one by one. No one met her eyes. Not even Kael. Arya stood alone in the clearing where she had grown up, where she had dreamed, where she had once believed she belonged. Her voice cracked. You're really sending me to die? Kael didn't answer. He didn't have to. The silence was enough. So Arya did not scream. She did not beg. She did not plead for mercy. She simply walked into the ancient forest. The one every wolf feared. The one whispered to hold spirits older than the moon. The one that devoured all who entered. And let the darkness swallow her whole. Because dying in the forest hurt less than dying in front of them. And neither Arya nor the wolves knew. The forest had been waiting for her. The forest swallowed her. Not gently. Not mercifully. Like a beast closing its jaws around a fragile creature, dragging her into a darkness so thick the moonlight died at the tree line. Every wolf pup grew up hearing the same warning. Never enter the ancient forest. It is not soil. It is not trees. It is a living god. Arya felt that truth immediately. The air was heavy, wet, metallic, humming with an energy that crawled beneath her skin. The moment she crossed fully into the shadows, she felt it. The forest noticed her. Branches shifted overhead, creaking like ancient bones realigning. Roots twisted beneath her feet. Eyes glimmered between the dark trunks, feral, unnatural, watching. A sharp wind blew behind her. Not cold. Cold would have comforted her. This wind was warm, as if something had exhaled against the back of her neck. She froze. Every instinct screamed. Run. But she couldn't run. There was nowhere to go. Behind her lay a pack that rejected her. Before her lay a forest that devoured wolves whole. Her chest ached. Her throat burned with the words she had held all night, all life. Why wasn't I enough? A twig snapped, loud, deliberate. Arya spun. Nothing. Except a tree that hadn't been there before. Her heart raced. She took a step back. The tree took a step forward. What? She whispered. The faint outline of a face appeared in the bark. Not carved. Not painted. But slowly rising like it had been sleeping for centuries beneath the surface. Eyes, not eyes, but glowing hollows, opened. A deep, rumbling voice emerged from the trunk. Daughter of neither wolf nor human. Why have you come? Arya stumbled back, tripping onto damp leaves. I didn't come. They sent me. They said I don't belong. They said I'm nothing. The forest groaned, wood cracking, branches twisting overhead like a great beast stretching. Leaves rained down around her. Nothing does not stir old magic. Arya blinked through tears. I'm not magic. I'm not even a wolf. The eyes in the trunk narrowed. You smell of moonlight. You taste of bloodlines long buried. You walk like prey, yet the ground bends for you. As if answering, the roots beneath her shifted, gentle, supportive, lifting her slightly before settling again. Arya's breath caught. I don't understand. The voice deepened. You will. The tree leaned forward, wood bending like muscle. Arya scrambled back until her spine pressed against another trunk. The forest whispered all around her now, branches murmuring like 1,000 ancient tongues. Daughter, forgotten, awakened. Born of two worlds. Neither wolf nor human. Chosen. Chosen. Arya covered her ears, shaking. Stop, please stop. The ground pulsed beneath her palms. Warm. Alive. A heartbeat. The forest had a pulse. Her pulse synced with it in a painful jolt that arched her back off the ground. She gasped. Her vision blurred. The air thickened, light bending, colors warping. Suddenly she wasn't on the forest floor anymore. She was floating. No, being held. By vines. By shadows. By light. The forest lifted her like an offering. And then she saw it. A memory that wasn't hers. A woman, dark hair, silver eyes, running through this very forest, clutching a baby in her arms. The woman cried out. Take her. She cannot stay in the pack. They'll kill her, take her. Branches reached out, soft as fingers, accepting the child. The woman whispered. My Arya. Forgive me. Arya's lungs seized. That's my mother. The vision shifted. Warriors entered the forest, wolves with silver markings, searching, snarling, sniffing. Where is the child? The Alpha said she must die. She carries the wrong scent. Arya's heart collapsed. The baby, lay hidden among roots glowing faintly with magic. The forest whispered. Not wolf. Not human. Something lost. Something ours. The vision shattered. Arya crashed back into reality, gasping, trembling, eyes wide with horror. That can't be true. She wouldn't have left me. Kel wouldn't have. My pack wouldn't. The tree's voice rolled through her mind. Your mother chose your life over their laws. Your pack chose fear over truth. Tears spilled down Arya's cheeks. Why didn't they tell me what I was? The forest leaned closer. Because they did not know. Because they could not smell what you are. Because only the ancients can taste your true blood. My true blood, she whispered. You are not wolfborn. Her body went cold. Then what am I? The tree's voice rumbled like thunder through a hollow cave. You are forest-born. The earth shook with the word. The branches above her bowed. The glowing eyes in the bark brightened. The first in 1,000 years. Arya stared, breath trembling. I don't understand. You will. When the forest marks you. Roots rose around her like a cradle. Branches lowered like hands. A warm, pulsing glow began beneath the soil. Arya's throat tightened. Will it hurt? The forest paused. Yes. She swallowed. But she didn't run. She never had anywhere to run to. Okay, she whispered. Do it. For the first time, she felt something shift inside her chest. Not breaking. Not emptying. But stirring. Awakening. The vines wrapped around her arms, warm, pulsing, gentle yet inescapable. The ground beneath her glowed brighter. The forest exhaled. Arya Rowan. Become what you were always meant to be. Pain exploded through her. White hot. Bone deep. Shattering. She screamed. A raw, ripping sound she didn't know her voice could make. Her back arched violently. Her arms seized. Her vision burst into green and gold and black. Something inside her broke. And something else opened. Her skin burned, like symbols etched themselves beneath it. Her heartbeat synced with the forest's. Her scent changed. Her aura roared outward. Branches bowed before her. Roots curled around her like subjects kneeling. The forest whispered. Rise, forest-born. Arya collapsed to her knees, gasping. The forest dimmed slightly, as if watching. Arya lifted her head. Her eyes glowed. Her scent was no longer human. No longer wolf. It was ancient. And outside the forest, far beyond the trees, wolves lifted their heads suddenly, sniffing the air in confusion. Because a scent they had never smelled before. Powerful, divine, impossible. Swept across the land like a promise. And every wolf felt the same cold realization. Something had awakened in the ancient forest. Something that did not fear them. Something they should fear. Something that now had a name. Arya. The forest was no longer silent. It sang. Not with birds. Not with wind. Not with wolves. With magic. A low hum rippled through the roots, through the leaves, through the moss-covered floor. A song older than moon rituals, older than pack laws, older than the first wolf shift ever recorded. And at the center of that awakening knelt Arya. Her palms pressed into the soil. Soil that pulsed like a heartbeat. Her heartbeat. Sweat dripped from her brow. Her breath came sharp, uneven. But her eyes glowed in the dark. Two burning emerald flames. The vines unwrapped from her arms slowly, gently, almost reverently. Arya stared down at her hands. The veins beneath her skin shimmered gold green, like molten sap flowing through them. What am I? She whispered. The forest answered by rustling every leaf in unison. Ours. Arya flinched. She wasn't used to belonging to anything. Certainly not to something this terrifying. But the forest's voice softened, still deep, ancient, echoing between both her ears and her bones. Do not fear. You are not prey. Not anymore. Arya pressed a hand to her chest, feeling her racing heartbeat. It was different now, stronger, more resonant, pulsing with something beyond blood. Am I? She swallowed. Am I still me? The tree nearest her leaned forward, bark shifting to reveal faint shapes of faces long since absorbed into the forest. You were never yourself. Not fully. Not until tonight. Arya's breath shook. She had spent 18 years believing she was broken. Tonight she learned she had been incomplete. She rose slowly, legs trembling, but her balance steady, steadier than when she'd entered these woods terrified and alone. Now, with each breath, she felt the earth beneath her feet. The creatures scuttling under the soil. The distant howl of wolves miles away. The shift of branches. The life energy within every root and leaf. Everything around her pulsed like a single living body. A single living system. A kingdom. And she was tied to all of it. Arya stumbled back, overwhelmed. Too much, it's too much. The forest calmed, not with silence, but with warmth. Roots curled around her ankles, grounding her. Leaves brushed her shoulders gently. Breathe, forest-born. Your senses expand because you are awakening. She squeezed her eyes shut. Awakening into what? Queen. Her breath caught. No. No, I'm not a queen. I'm not even a wolf. I'm not. You are not wolf, nor human. You are what existed before both. A chill ran down her spine. Before wolves. Before humans. The forest whispered something she could barely comprehend. You are kin to the old blood. The trees bowed. The ground warmed. The shadows parted like subjects kneeling. Arya's knees nearly buckled. I'm something they feared. Yes. That's why they rejected me. Yes. That's why they wanted me gone. The forest's voice rumbled deep and furious. Yes. Arya choked on a half sob, half laugh. Then they were right. I am dangerous. Leaves shuddered in amusement. You are powerful. Dangerous only to those who would harm what is yours. Arya wrapped her arms around herself. What is mine? What you claim. A faint scent drifted on the wind then, sharp, panicked, laced with authority. Arya stiffened. Wolves. Not her old pack. A patrol. 3 scents. Male. Young. Afraid. Arya inhaled. She didn't smell human anymore. She didn't smell like an outsider. She smelled like the forest itself. A chill rippled through her veins. The wolves were entering the outer ring of the ancient forest. No, Arya whispered. No, they shouldn't be here. They'll be killed. A low growl traveled through the soil. The wolves chose to trespass. The forest owes them nothing. Arya shook her head fiercely. No. They don't know what I've become, what this place is. They'll die. The leaves rustled sharply. Why protect those who would never protect you? Arya flinched. Because she still had a heart. Because she still remembered what it felt like to be on the other side of cruelty. Because even if wolves rejected her, she didn't want blood on her hands. Please, Arya whispered into the trees, voice trembling. Let me go to them. The forest hesitated. Roots paused mid-curl, as if listening. Finally. Very well. But the forest goes with you. Arya gasped. What does that mean? You carry our magic now. Where you walk, we walk. A deep, steady pulse traveled up her spine, into her fingers, into her chest. Arya exhaled a shuddering breath. Then show me. Her vision blurred green. The ground lifted beneath her feet, pulling her forward gently, carrying her rather than letting her walk. The forest rearranged itself. Trees shifting, roots bending, creating a path only she could walk. Soon she saw them. 3 crescent wolves. Fur bristled, teeth bared. Slowly backing away from a massive shadowed creature emerging from the dark. A forest beast. Ancient. Territorial. Called forth by her awakening. Arya's heart raced. No. The forest reacted instantly. Roots erupted upward in a spiraling wall between the wolves and the beast. Trees bent to block the danger. The wolves staggered back in terror. What is happening? The forest. It's alive. We have to leave, now. Arya stepped into view. The wolves froze. Their ears flattened. Their nostrils flared. What is that scent? She smells like the forest. No, stronger. Arya swallowed. It's me. All three wolves stared as though seeing a ghost. Arya Rowan. No, impossible. She died. No wolf survives these woods. Arya lifted her chin, power cracking faintly through the leaves around her. I'm not a wolf. Her hair lifted in the breeze though there was no wind. The roots hummed beneath her feet. One wolf whispered. Then, what are you? Arya inhaled deeply. The forest answered for her. Whispering through every leaf. Vibrating the ground. Bending toward her like subjects near their queen. She is forest-born. The wolves collapsed to their knees. Arya stared, stunned. They bowed to her. Not out of respect. Out of instinct. Because something in her aura demanded it. Arya felt the shift. She was no longer prey. No longer a mistake. No longer nothing. She was something wolves feared. And something the forest loved. But Arya's heart ached rather than swelled. I never wanted this, she whispered. A soft wind brushed her cheek, comforting. Yet you were chosen. Arya closed her eyes. The wolves trembled at her feet. And far beyond them. In her old pack's territory. Chaol Rowan, Alpha of Crescent, lifted his head suddenly. His nostrils flared. He sensed something impossible. A scent he remembered. A heartbeat he once ignored. A girl he sent to die. His blood ran cold as he whispered her name. Arya. The forest whispered back through the night. She is coming. The night deepened. Not naturally. But as if the darkness thickened itself to carry a message. Far beyond the ancient forest, back in Crescent territory, lanterns flickered though no wind blew. Wolves paced restlessly. Elders whispered urgently. Something had changed in the world. Something had awakened. And every wolf felt it. Chaol Rowan stood at the edge of the training yard, staring toward the forest with a furrowed brow. His warriors shifted anxiously around him, tails stiff with unease. Alpha, Beta Darian murmured, what is that scent? It's powerful. Chaol inhaled again. The unfamiliar scent curled into his lungs, ancient, fierce, commanding. It terrified him. And yet, beneath the layers of magic and earth, he smelled something else. A memory. A girl who smelled wrong to them. A girl they rejected. A girl he sent to die. Impossible, Chaol whispered, jaw tightening. She couldn't have survived. But his wolf, the primal instinct buried inside him, growled low in warning. Not against the scent. Against losing it again. He couldn't understand it. Arya had no wolf. No scent. No role. No future. Yet tonight every instinct he possessed screamed her name. Darian felt the shift too. Alpha, if something came out of that forest. It hasn't come out, Chaol snapped, more sharply than intended. His beta stiffened. Chaol looked back at the forest. The tree line seemed closer than usual, as if the entire woods had stepped forward, watching them. Waiting. We'll send scouts at dawn, Chaol said. But the elders emerged at that very moment, pale-faced, robes trembling. No. You will not, Elder Sorin said. No wolf steps fit into the ancient forest. Not tonight. Not ever again. Kel frowned. Why now? The elder's voice shook. Because the Forestborn has awakened. Gasps rippled through the warriors. Darian stepped forward. That's a myth. Elder Sorin's eyes snapped to his. Does this feel like a myth to you? The ground beneath the pack gave a faint tremor, almost like the heartbeat Arya had felt hours earlier. Kale stiffened. What is Forestborn? He demanded. What do you know? Before the elder could speak, Arya knelt beside the wolves she saved. Not her pack. Not her people. But wolves nonetheless. They kept their heads bowed, trembling like pups before a lightning storm. Stand up, Arya said softly. They didn't move. She tried again, firmer this time. I'm not here to hurt you. Please, stand. Their bodies shook harder. Not in fear of her wrath. In fear of her power. Finally, one of them, a brown-furred wolf with amber eyes, lifted his head just enough to look at her. He immediately lowered it again. Forgive us, he said. Your aura, it forces us down. Arya's breath hitched. I don't want that. The forest rustled above her. Power cannot be wished away. It can only be directed. Arya clenched her fists. Her life had been shaped by what others decided she lacked. Now she was being shaped by what she never asked for. Why me? She whispered. The forest answered with its usual certainty. Because balance was broken. Wolves grew arrogant. Humans forgot the old treaties. Magic weakened. Something had to rise. Arya shook her head fiercely. That doesn't explain why I was chosen. Because you were the only one who could carry both worlds. Blood of wolf. Blood of human. Awakened by forest. Arya froze. Blood of wolf, she echoed. I'm not a wolf. Not yet. Her heart pounded. What does that mean? The forest did not answer. Instead, the path ahead shifted, opening like a throat, revealing a deeper part of the forest, glowing faintly. Your next trial awaits. Arya swallowed. Trial. To rule the forest, you must be claimed by it. The wolves bowed lower. Claimed, how? Through ritual. Through pain. Through choice. Arya's hands trembled. She had endured enough pain for a lifetime. And yet, she wanted this. Not power. Not a throne. Understanding. Identity. Belonging. She stood. I'll do it. The wolves lifted their heads slowly, horror and awe intermingling in their eyes. One whispered. You'll become something no wolf can stand against. Arya's voice cracked softly. I've never stood against wolves. They've only ever stood against me. She stepped forward into the deeper forest. The light dimmed. The ground warmed. The wind stopped. The trees bent inward, forming a circular chamber of roots and leaves. A ritual circle. The air vibrated. Arya stepped inside. The moment her foot touched the center, the forest roared to life. Magic surged up her legs, slamming into her chest, spinning her into the air. She screamed. But the forest swallowed the sound. Roots wrapped around her wrists and ankles. Not binding, but supporting, suspending her in midair. Her back arched. Her eyes rolled back. Her chest glowed with a symbol. An ancient crest shaped like intertwined roots and moons. The forest's voice boomed. Arya Rowan. Forestborn. Child of two worlds. Will you claim us as yours? She gasped through the pain. I'll try. Try is not enough. Say the words. Her body jolted violently. Say the words, forest-born. Arya clenched her teeth, tears streaming. I claim the forest. The trees groaned in approval. But the forest wasn't done. Will you bear the cost? Her heart stilled. What cost? The roots tightened slightly, not painfully, but firmly. You will never belong to wolves again. Arya froze. Her throat closed. Images flashed through her mind. Running through the packyard as a child. Laughing with other pups before they learned to hate her. Her mother's smile. The moonlit clearing where she begged for awakening. Kel turning away. Darian sneering. The wolves who spat at her feet. Her chest ached. They never wanted me anyway. Say it. Arya's voice shook. I will never belong to wolves again. Good. The forest pulsed with approval. But then. And you must accept this. One day, wolves will kneel at your feet. Arya's breath caught. No. I don't want that. Then they will be crushed beneath them. Her eyes widened in horror. No. I don't want to hurt anyone. The forest's tone sharpened. Then rule. Or be ruled. There is no in between. Her heart raced. What if I don't want either? Then your power will destroy you first. Her body convulsed. Magic surged through her veins. Her back arched until it hurt to breathe. Arya screamed. Fine. I'll rule, if it means I can control this. The forest roared with satisfaction. Then rise, Forest Queen. Light exploded from her chest. Every tree bowed. Every root trembled. Every creature in the forest stilled. And miles away, every wolf in Crescent territory collapsed onto their knees from the shockwave of her aura. Kel grabbed his chest, choking. What was that? Elder Sorin whispered, voice breaking. The Forestborn has chosen her throne. Kel's blood ran ice cold. He whispered the name he had tried to forget. Arya. Arya hung suspended in the ritual chamber. Not by force, but by destiny. The forest's glow wrapped her in light, weaving around her limbs like living threads. Roots pulsed beneath her feet. Leaves spiraled upward in a slow, reverent dance. Her body shook with the weight of the transformation. Every bone trembling. Every breath burning. Every heartbeat sinking deeper with the ancient pulse beneath the soil. The pain didn't fade. It deepened. Worsened. Sharpened. The forest was not just marking her. It was rewriting her. Her claws dug into empty air. Her back arched, mouth opening in a sound she barely recognized. Not a scream. Not a howl. Something older. Something that made the wolves kneeling miles away tremble to their marrow. Arya felt her blood churn like molten metal. Her veins ignited. Symbols burned beneath her skin, curling across her arms, her torso, her throat, glowing like living tattoos born of ancient language. She felt her heart twist violently once. Then twice. Then settle. Not as a wolf's heart. Not as a human's. But as something impossibly other. The forest's voice thundered. The ritual is near completion. But you must choose your bond. Her mind swam. My bond. The forest's tone deepened into something heavier. Darker. A truth no one had spoken in 1,000 years. Forestborn do not live alone. Power of your magnitude destabilizes the land without balance. She shivered. And what balances me? A counterpart. A tether. One who tempers your magic. Arya's throat closed. I don't have anyone. The forest laughed softly, like wind through hollow bark. You do. Your hearts were intertwined long before your birth. Her breath stilled. Please, no. Don't say it. Who? She whispered. The forest paused, letting the silence thicken until it became a second heartbeat. The Alpha who cast you out. Arya's body jerked as if struck. Chaol, she choked. No, no, that's impossible. He rejected me. He hates me. Rejection means nothing to destiny. Her stomach twisted. I refuse him. The trees groaned. The roots tightened around her wrists, not painfully, but with urgency. Refusal is impossible. The bond already exists. Arya's vision blurred. The bond. With Chaol. Her chest burned. Not from the ritual. But from something deeper. Something rawer. Something she had buried under years of humiliation and silence. Chaol had never been cruel as a child. He had held her hand when she was scared of storms. He had defended her once, before the Elder's pressure shaped him into what he became. But the day he banished her. The day he turned his back. Something inside her had shattered. And now the forest said he was her counterpart. No, Arya whispered. No. There has to be another way. There is not. Her breath trembled. But I don't want him. You need not want him. He will come. Arya's jaw clenched. I won't let him hold power over me again. He will not hold power. He will balance it. Arya's eyes narrowed. Explain. The forest rustled around her, forming a circle of whispering leaves. Forest-born are too powerful. If untethered, you unravel the world. Arya froze. You unravel. Trees will burn. Magic will split. Wolves will lose their shifts. Humans will lose their dreams. You will become a living storm. Arya's heart dropped. No, she breathed. I don't want to hurt anyone. Then accept your counterpart. Her hands shook. Her voice was barely audible. He rejected me. He rejected the human you. Arya swallowed. And now? Now he will kneel. A pulse of power surged through her. Arya gasped deeply, back arching. The ritual reached its climax. A crown of woven branches and glowing roots formed above her head, rising, bending, twisting, then lowering slowly. As it touched her brow, everything exploded. Light. Roots. Magic. Sound. Power. The forest roared. Arya screamed. The land trembled. Miles away, every wolf in Crescent territory collapsed to the ground, clutching their chests as her aura swept over them like a tidal wave. Chaol dropped to his knees, gasping for breath. What is happening to me? He choked. Darian fell beside him. Alpha, your scent, it's reacting. But Chaol barely heard him. His wolf clawed inside his chest. Not in panic. Not in fear. But in recognition. Their bond had ignited. Chaol's eyes widened in horror. No, he whispered. No, that's not possible. She's human. She had no wolf. But his wolf growled one word into his soul. Mate. Chaol staggered to his feet, trembling. Arya, oh goddess, Arya. Darian stared at him in shock. Alpha, your scent, it's shifted. Stronger. Wilder. It's like the forest touched you. Chaol grabbed his beater by the shoulders, eyes blazing. She's alive. Darian paled. Who? Chaol's voice cracked with something Crescent wolves had never heard from their alpha. Regret. Arya. She survived. She's awakened something ancient. The Elder approached them, face drained of color. We warned you, he rasped. Cast her out, and the forest would claim what wolves rejected. Kale's stomach twisted. He remembered her face the night he banished her. The quiet way she walked into the forest without fighting. The tremble in her voice when she said, "You're sending me to die." And now. His wolf howled inside him. "Go to her." "Alpha," Darian said carefully, "if she truly awakened as forest-born, she may be dangerous." Kale turned slowly, expression darkening into something fierce. "No," he said softly. "She's mine." His wolf growled. "Agreed." Darian hesitated. "Alpha, if she's forest-born, she won't see it that way." Kale's jaw clenched. "I don't care how she sees it. I need to find her." The elder stepped forward, voice sharp. "You cannot enter that forest." Kale's gaze turned cold. "Watch me." He took a step toward the border. The trees shifted. Moved. Closed the path. Kale's heart dropped. "Arya," he whispered, as though she might somehow hear him. Deep in the ancient forest, Arya opened her eyes at that exact moment. As if summoned by the echo of his voice. She felt him. His panic. His regret. His desperate pull toward her. Her breath hitched, fury and hurt mixing inside her chest. "No," she whispered. "Not like this. Not him." But the forest whispered back. "The Alpha comes." Arya clenched her fists. "Then let him." Her eyes glowed brighter. Her scent thickened into power itself. Her aura rose like a storm. Let him see what he threw away. The forest waited. Not silently, but with the breathless anticipation of a beast about to be fed. Branches held still. Roots curled beneath the soil. Shadows deepened like ink. Arya stood at the heart of the ritual circle, the crown of living roots still glowing faintly on her brow. Her pulse, now fused with the forest's, beat in waves that rippled through bark and soil. She felt him long before she heard him. Kale. His presence pressed against the edge of her awareness. Sharp, frantic, threaded with guilt. And tinged with the unmistakable pull of the mate bond he once denied existed. Her breath trembled. Part of her wanted to run. Part of her wanted to burn the whole forest down just so he couldn't reach her. Part of her wanted to see him. To look at him with the full weight of what she had become. The forest circled around her like a cloak. He approaches. Arya exhaled, slow and tight. "I know." A pause. "Does your heart fear him?" Arya clenched her teeth. "Yes." "Does your power need him?" A longer silence. Finally. "Yes." The forest hummed. Then confront both truths. Arya closed her eyes. She remembered the cold look on Kale's face the night he banished her. The way he didn't hesitate. Didn't question the elders. Didn't protect her. Then she remembered him as a boy. Gentle, kind, laughing as they ran through the backyard. How could destiny tie her to someone who broke her? "How do I face him?" she whispered. "As queen. Not as the girl he threw away." Arya lifted her chin. Her eyes hardened. "I'm ready." The moment Kale stepped over the forest line, the ground shuddered. Darian grabbed his arm. "Alpha, stop." The forest. The soil cracked. Vines whipped upward, forming a barricade. Kale growled, wolf instincts flaring. "I have to get to her." He slashed at a vine, it recoiled like a serpent, hissing through the leaves. The trees creaked, turning their massive trunks toward him in warning. Darian backed away, trembling. "Alpha, the forest doesn't want you here." Kale bared his teeth. "Then it can try to stop me." But the forest didn't attack. Instead, it spoke. Not aloud. But inside his skull, with a voice both ancient and furious. You abandoned our queen. Kale staggered back, clutching his head. What was that? The trees trembled violently, leaves raining down like shards of light. You cast her out. You sent her here to die. Now you seek what you threw away. Kale swallowed hard. I didn't know, I didn't understand. Ignorance is not innocence. Kale's wolf growled inside him in agreement. He bowed his head, not to the forest, but to the truth. I wronged her, he whispered. And I'll face whatever punishment you want. But I need to see her. The forest pulsed, unimpressed. Your want is irrelevant. Kale raised his head, eyes burning with something desperate. Then listen to my wolf. His wolf's voice burst through him like a howl. Mate. The forest stilled. Branches tilted. Roots hesitated. For the first time, the ancient forest paused. Mate, it echoed softly, considering. Fate's cruel thread. Kale clenched his fists, voice hoarse. Let me through. The forest responded by slamming roots across the path. Kale snarled. He shifted. Bones cracked. Muscles tore and reformed. Fur erupted along his spine. In seconds, the alpha wolf stood, massive, silver-striped, eyes glowing with dominance. He launched himself at the barricade. And was thrown back like a leaf in a storm. He crashed into a tree, breath knocked out, fur bristling. Still, he got up. Still, he tried again. And again. Each time, the forest tossed him aside with growing irritation. Darian yelled. Kale! Stop! You're going to break your spine. But Kale didn't stop. He couldn't stop. His mate was crying somewhere in these woods. He felt it. Felt the tremble of her heart. Felt the storm of her pain. Finally, he collapsed, panting, blood in his fur. He whispered, voice breaking. Arya, please. The forest shuddered. A path opened. Darian dropped his jaw. Kale shifted back into human form, breath trembling with relief. Thank you, he whispered. Do not thank us. She decides. Arya stood in the center of a clearing bathed in green light. Her hair floated on an unseen breeze. Her eyes glowed brighter than moonstone. The crest on her chest pulsed like a heartbeat. The crown of roots had woven itself into her hair. She was no longer the girl Kale rejected. She was a force. A queen. Kale stepped into the clearing, and his knees buckled. His wolf snarled inside him in submission. Arya, he breathed. Her gaze met his. Slowly, deliberately, and coldly. Alpha. The single word struck him like a blade. No warmth. No longing. No familiarity. Just distance. Power. And judgment. Kale took a shaky step forward. I didn't know. Arya, if I had known what you were. Her eyes sharpened. What I was, she repeated quietly. Not who I was. Kale froze. Arya stepped toward him, the ground blooming with green light under her feet. You rejected me because I wasn't wolf. You banished me because I smelled human. You let them mock me, shame me, cast me out. Her voice cracked, not with weakness, but with something sharper than fury. You sent me to die. Kale's throat tightened. Arya. I made a terrible mistake. The forest hissed in irritation. A mistake is a small wrong. Yours was monstrous. Kale dropped to his knees before her. I know. And I'll spend my life making it right. Arya stared down at him. Once, the girl she had been would have melted. Would have given him her whole heart. But she wasn't that girl anymore. She was something else. Something his world was not prepared for. Arya stepped closer. Her aura crashed over him like a tidal wave. Chaol's breath hitched, he bowed his head involuntarily, wolf whining. She whispered, voice low, lethal. You don't decide anything anymore. Chaol's wolf whimpered in surrender. Arya leaned in, eyes blazing with a mix of hurt, betrayal, and newfound power. You don't get to claim me now. Chaol's heart fractured. Arya, please. I feel the bond. It's real. It's tearing me apart. Her expression didn't soften. That's your burden. Not mine. The forest rustled approvingly. But then. Arya's voice broke, barely audible. You want a mate? Then you should have stayed when I begged you not to cast me out. Chaol's eyes filled with something she never expected to see. Tears. Arya. I'm so sorry. She shook her head. Sorry won't erase what happened. She turned away. The forest parted for her. Chaol reached for her. But the vine snapped upward, blocking his hand. Arya didn't look back. Don't follow me. Chaol collapsed to the forest floor, breath shattered. She disappeared into the shadows. And the forest whispered to him. You rejected your queen. Now earn her forgiveness. Or lose her forever. The forest swallowed Arya as she walked away, the shadows folding around her like a cloak tailored to her heartbeat. Behind her, Chaol knelt in broken silence. Blood on his arms. Dirt on his knees. Regret carved into the slump of his shoulders. But Arya did not look back. She couldn't. Not when her heart still hurt. Not when her skin still remembered the cold of rejection. Not when her new power trembled under the strain of being tethered to someone she didn't trust anymore. The trees bent gently as she passed. You did well, the forest murmured. Arya exhaled shakily. No. I didn't. He deserved the truth. That wasn't truth, she whispered. That was pain speaking. A long silence followed. Pain is truth, too. Chaol forced himself to rise, though his legs trembled beneath him. Darian rushed to his side, horrified. Alpha, your scent is unstable, your wolf is half-shifted, let's get out of here. Chaol shoved him away weakly. No. I'm not leaving this forest until I see her again. Darian swallowed. Chaol, she doesn't want. Chaol snapped his head toward him, eyes glowing gold. My mate is alive, he said quietly. Alive because the forest saved her from what I did. And now the forest is punishing you, Darian muttered. No, Chaol corrected, voice raw. It's testing me. He steadied himself. I will earn her forgiveness. Even if I die trying. The forest heard him. And shuddered with interest. The forest opened into a massive hollow. A cavern of living roots glowing with ancient sigils. This, she knew intuitively, was the Heartroot. The seat of forest power. The ground pulsed beneath her feet. The air vibrated. A huge root wall parted, revealing something suspended inside. A massive, hollowed trunk filled with luminescent sap. The forest's lifeblood. Arya stepped closer. What is this? The Heartroot, the forest whispered. Where Forestborn claim their dominion. Her chest tightened. Dominion? I didn't ask to rule. You asked to survive. Power is the cost of survival. Arya swallowed. And what now? The sap brightened, gold green. Now, you must choose what kind of queen you will be. What choices do I have? 3. The forest's voice wrapped around her. Images flashed. Chaol kneeling. Elder Sorin trembling. Wolves bowing unwillingly. Crescent territory overrun with vines. Punish them. Make the wolves who hurt you kneel. Take their land and crown. Arya's hands shook. She saw herself with eyes burning green, walking through Crescent as trees burst from the earth at her command. A queen feared. A queen unstoppable. A queen alone. Her stomach twisted. No, she whispered. Not this. The vision dissolved. The forest shifted again, showing a different future. Arya living deep in the woods, unseen by all. Chaol trying to enter the forest for years, failing every time. Arya watching packs wage wars and crumble. Never seen. Never known. Never loved. Never touched. Her power locked in a hollow throne of roots. A queen without a kingdom. She shivered. No, she said again. I won't hide. The vision faded. The last vision formed slowly. Tenderly. Like the forest itself held its breath. Arya standing not above wolves. And not apart from them. But between two worlds. Forest and pack. Magic and fur. Root and moon. Chaol at her side. Not dominating her. Not claiming her. But standing on equal ground. Humbled. Changed. Devoted. Wolves and forest folk bowing in unity. A kingdom reborn. Arya exhaled sharply, chest tightening. I don't know if I forgive him, she whispered. Forgiveness is not required for balance. She blinked. It isn't. But understanding is. Arya stepped closer to the heartroot. The sap pulsed. She lifted her hand. The moment her fingertips touched the glowing liquid. Sparks danced. The cavern trembled. Roots wrapped around her wrists. Her vision blurred with light and new power. Are you choosing balance, forest-born? Arya breathed out. Yes. The heartroot exploded with light. Chaol, still trembling, sensed the surge of power like an earthquake under his ribs. He stood straighter. Arya, he whispered. I'm not giving up. The forest shook with her power. Trees bent away from her aura. Animals fled. Magic rippled like a storm cloud. Darien backed up in terror. Alpha, go back. Retreat. Save yourself. No, Chaol growled. I go forward. He took a step. A root slammed between them, knocking Darien away from Chaol. The forest chose. Chaol alone was allowed through. This was his trial. His to endure. His to fail. His to survive. Or not. He pushed deeper, breath ragged. Arya! Arya! His voice echoed through the ancient wood. The ground cracked. Trees shook violently. Light burst through the roots. Chaol skidded to a stop. And then. Arya stepped out of the heartroot chamber. Her power shimmering like a second skin. Her crown glowing. Her scent hitting him like a storm. Earth and sap and lightning. His wolf collapsed inside him. Chaol fell to one knee. Arya, goddess. Arya's eyes locked on him. Not cold. Not warm. But steady. Resolute. She walked toward him slowly. Get up, she said. His heart stumbled. Arya. I said get up. Chaol forced himself to his feet. The mate bond pulsed between them. Hot, agonizing, undeniable. Her scent wrapped around him. His aura pulled toward hers like a tide dragged by the moon. He swallowed hard. You chose, he whispered. She nodded once. I chose balance. His breath faltered. And, us. Her lips parted. Her eyes softened for the first time since her awakening. Us, she echoed. Chaol's heart leapt. Hope breaking through the grief and regret. But Chaol, she continued, stepping close until the air between them trembled. Balance is not forgiveness. Chaol flinched. I know. And it is not love. He closed his eyes. I know. And it is not trust. His voice cracked. I know. She leaned in until her forehead almost touched his. But it is a beginning. Chaol's breath broke. Arya, let me earn the rest. Arya inhaled deeply. The forest pulsed with her heartbeat. Her power curled around Chaol's senses like soft vines. Then she said the words that shifted the world. You may walk beside me, Chaol Rowan. Not ahead. Not above. Beside. Chaol exhaled a shuddered breath. I will. Arya turned, her gaze sweeping the forest and horizon alike. Wolves would learn her name. The forest already sang it. A queen had risen. A new era had begun. And as the trees bowed, and Chaol took his place at her side. Tentative, humbled, reverent. Arya whispered to the world. I am forest-born. And I take my throne. And under the oldest canopy in existence, the wolves who once rejected her felt the earth shift, because a queen they could no longer outrun had finally claimed her crown.